Anything from your side, Lavanya Mataji?
No, Prabhu, no.
Okay. Maharaj spoke about the you talking on the principle. In the beginning, he spoke about not going for over accumulation, which generally happens in Grihastha life. Any thoughts on those points from anyone here? Chandan Prabhu, you have any thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanwad Pranam.
Right.
No, Prabhu, today I don't have to share anything.
Sure, Prabhu. No problem. Thank you. Yes, Vinodini Mataji or Shamkun Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it's me here.
Yes.
Am I audible at all?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
And there is no background noise, right?
Yeah, it looks fine, Prabhu. Fine.
Some thoughts on the aspects of simplicity which Maharaj had said and living by a principle. And I mean, it may appear to be contradictory thoughts, but I'll just put it up for review and consideration by the devotees here. The moment the word simplicity comes into picture, it has different connotations for different people. For some, simplicity means don't be complicated, which is in for everybody in some aspect of their life they want simplicity. For example, when we read Srila Prabhupada's books, be simple. That is, or when we read any philosophical literature, let's take it as it is. Don't derive unnecessary meaning from it. That is the meaning of simplicity for some of them. Or don't speculate is a word that is used in some place. Or don't extend it. Just do as it is. What is spiritual life? Spiritual life is just about uh, hear and just appreciate things and move on in life. The complicated thing is the more you think about how you can apply in your own mind, in your own heart, how you can be more mindful, that becomes too complicated. Don't speak about it. Let's be simple. So that's the version of simplicity for some people when they, like, especially when they encounter to read something. For some people, simplicity is in speech. Whatever I have in mind, I am going to speak. I don't bother about what the other person thinks or does it, but I have to be simple. And it takes the other person should also be pure enough to understand there is nothing wrong in my intentions. I'm just telling my mind however it is. You have to accept it however it is. That is the definition of simplicity for some people. And uh, I mean, for a good amount of time, devotees live like this. Not just devotees, any people in the world outside, they are like this. And however, when somebody speaks simply, or to be more precise, bluntly to us, we get hurt. When somebody, what you call, is um, like what I gave the example from reading, he just takes something what they read and tell as it is. We think, hey, this person is not intelligent enough. They are unable to process it carefully. So there's this side and there's the other side of it. I'm just giving examples here. There could be far many more examples as such. So what is it that we need to do here? Um, my own understanding, which I am bringing it for your review, as I said earlier, is little nuanced version of it. In terms of speech, a lot depends upon the relationship we have with others. For those who have affection to us, We can speak bluntly. Uh, and yet, we should not take advantage of their affection by speaking bluntly to them. We should be mindful of their own feelings too, in general. But there is a greater freedom to speak bluntly to them. It's a greater freedom, but still, it is not absolute freedom because we have to be mindful that if one of the principles in life is ahimsa, never cause anguish to others. So, in general, even for those who have affection, we should try our best not to cause anguish. If one is at the level of a guru or a guide, etc., and one thinks that this is like when one has to speak, it may cause a temporary pain, but in long term it will be helpful. After significant deliberation, one can speak like that. If that may be the right intention, and maybe the deliberation might have been right, wrong. That's a different thing. But the intention is, I may need to correct this person here. That happens only in few cases because very few people are affectionate to us and yet look forward for our guidance. Most people don't want guidance from us. So that then comes the next part. Like what Maharaj said, in principle, try to influence. Many times we take a big load in our head of influencing others. We believe that I have to look good, I have to speak well, I have to act well to influence others. And over a period of time, somehow or the other, in the mind, what only works is how am I influencing others? Am I so we become a victim to our image that others see. And this is as much it is fully diametrically opposite to a spiritual life where morning and evening it's the life of the content creator. They just see how many likes they have in their channel, how many subscriptions they have in their channel, or something like that. So a life which is fully dependent upon others' perception about us. So sometimes we take these words which come from Maharaj and other spiritual life that influence the world to an unhealthy extreme extent. So instead, an easier or not easier, I should say, a better way out is learn how to influence. And part of the ways of learning how to influence is that I know a principle. I would like the other person to accept the principle, and I am very much detached. The person can accept it or he may reject it. That is their free will. So it starts with giving full liberty for the exhibition of free will by the other individual. And at the same time, we do it as our service. We speak or we write or we read something as our service, saying, let me see how best to make things better here. And in that process, one of the things that needs to be done here is having a conversation which goes, I think you have this value, and I believe this value may be right. If you go ahead with your value, these are the implications that may happen. If I go ahead with my value, these are the implications that may happen. Do you think we both can converge here at this point now? Uh, think questions, I mean, speaking like that, or going with a what is called as a Socrates method. Ask questions. If I do as you say, these are what's going to happen. Is this good enough? What else do you think is going to be bad if you do it here? And if it is good, what's the next step that we have to take? So learning to have conversations is important because such conversations, when guided in a particular way, helps to bring clarity both in us and in those whom we interact. And for lack of patience in us, don't go through these steps and instead directly tell this is what that needs to be done. And this works very well for people with whom we have a great relationship with. And sometimes it doesn't work even with people whom we have a great relationship with because they say, hey, you are always condescending. You always tell this, and I have to do as you say. I like you, but I don't want that always I have to do what you say. So, in such cases, people think, you're complicated. That's the opposite of simplicity. But rather than seeing it in the just in the perspectives of simplicity and complicated, I think we should rather see in terms of where are people's attachments, where are they right now? And I am a das or a dasi, I'm a servant. How can I best get something that I need for myself by honestly stating this is what I need, or I think they need something. How can I be an instrument to give? It's not always that we, just by being devotees, we are in a position of giving. Many times, or most of the times, we may still be in the position of receiving alone. We should have that humility to acknowledge that I am receiving something from the others. Hey, actually, so it's one of the ways to talk to others or interact with others is to say, I need this from you. I would like to have this from you. Right now, my life has a hole or a gap in this. I don't have it. It would be great if you can help me fill that gap. Such honest statements may be helpful. That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Prabhu. Any devotee would like to have some comment on what Shyamkund Prabhu just said, or they need just more clarification on some points? Shweta Mataji, you have something to share on this?
Hare Krishna Prabhu Chaitanya Pranam. No Prabhu. I was just enjoying listening to Shyamkund Prabhu. So, and that's true. I mean, we don't realize our limits or our ways. How should we say to someone, or should we say, or we should not? So we don't think on those lines. So I was just listening and I was trying to contemplate. That's all, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Hare
ma'am.
Krishna.
Thank you. Any other devotee? They have anything to share? Kalvari Mataji, anything from your side?
No, Prabhu. Just enjoy the lecture as well as what Shamkun Prabhu said. That's it, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you much. Okay, so there is no other further point, then we will pause here for today, and there will be another lecture from the same playlist tomorrow as well. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining today.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.